Let's jump to the war here, and today we've got a Rate Your Doomstack video covering a Heralds of Ariel Bladesinger Doomstack. Now, I think this is the first time that somebody sent in a melee infantry based Doomstack. Now, the reason why we haven't had any sent in so far is because melee infantry on very hard battle difficulty are rubbish. Absolute rubbish tier units. However, he's managed to get these buffs up so high on this unit that it's possible to get them up to 90% physical resistance apparently, which is the cap. So, their current physical resistance is 60%. I believe their base is at 50%, but because they're in a forested area, some of these guys here are providing them with additional buffs. So it's definitely the ideal situation for them. So if you were fighting this, say, in the desert or in the mountains, you're not going to be quite as effective. So I guess we'll just jump in the battle and see how we go. Now, we're certainly up against a very powerful enemy as well. Like, this is 3 armies of High Elves and loads of Phoenixes, and Phoenixes are a pain in the ass to deal with. So let's jump into where we go. Excuse me. Now, all that physical resistance is basically going to be bypassed by the Phoenixes, but they do also have some magic and magic resistance and ward save. We'll see how that goes. We also need to get familiar with these heroes as well, because the thing is, when you build an army yourself, you know it back to front. You know what items you've put on them, you know what abilities you put on them, but when somebody sends in a save file to me, I don't know shit what they put into their army until I've had a look at it. And usually it takes like a few battles to get familiar with it, so I don't expect to actually fight this battle perfectly, because for one thing, it is a thing, with when the DLC came out, I never recruited a single Bladesinger. Because I just took one look at it and went, melee infantry, pfft, phooey. Because melee infantry in this game are rubbish, and the Wood Elves have so much better options. They've got amazing monsters, amazing archers. Why would you ever bother getting a melee infantry unit? Apparently it's something that I've overlooked, and maybe we'll see. We'll see. I think it would be better if we could fight in the trees, because we do get Forest Stalker. Like, just because it's sent in a melee infantry Doomstack doesn't mean we should fight like an idiot. So we should lure them over to here to fight. Also, the tighter our formation, the better, because we'll be able to. We've got buff spells, which will be able to get them to that other bits of 90% physical resistance. Like we've got the. I don't even use these spells. I don't know what they're fucking called. Shield of Thorns. Only 2 winds of magic for that, and then a Beast Wizard here. You got Pans and Penetral Pelt. Okay. We'll see how we go. So they can see us, just let them come over here. Because we'll be a lot more resistant to their missiles if we're fighting in the trees as well. But I suppose while they're getting organized, we should send this wizard to just go and thin them out with the dwellers below. Now, just because the melee infantry stack does not mean we should not use the magic at all. But, you know, I will evaluate how much damage they actually do. And there's 3 full stacks here. We should definitely take it seriously. And it doesn't matter what type of armor you build. Unless you're playing as the dwarves, you should absolutely put a spellcaster in your army. And you should be doing this in all of your battles. Especially if you're outnumbered, which we are. So, you know, if you want it to be good. I mean, if you absolutely don't want to do this, then that's entirely up to you. But you're missing out on good kills. Probably would have been better if I went for the Sisters of Avalon, but I just wasn't sure if they were going to stay there anyway. Okay. It's got some items there. Alright, here we go. Okay, luckily, Bladesingers are fast enough that we can charge in and actually catch up to them. They're very fast, which is good for a melee infantry unit, because one of the things that make melee infantry shit is their speed. Alright, I'm going to put them in a control group. And we're going to use this one here first. I'm going to use it there. And you... What? Go try and take out the phoenixes. No, no, no. Oh, God. Get out of there. Oh, did I get pinned down? I did. I got pinned. Come on. She might rally. She might not. Luckily, we've still got another life wizard. Depends just on whether or not they decide to come at us. How we going here? You over there. If they chase us away, that's not good. I'm not going to be able to rally. Yeah, it looks like they won't chase off the life wizard. Luckily, we have a spare. At least they can only do that ability once. Alright, let's pop down one of these here. Physical resistance, useful against them. Also provides... Oh, good, you came back? Good, good. Okay, like I said, we want to try to keep fairly close together so that we can keep getting those buffs. Because they don't have that much area of effect stuff going on. Come on, get over here. Otherwise I can't keep my eye on you. What's going on with them? Go fight over there. Okay, I think you're going to need a bit of health. Kind of feel like I need to bring this one... Oh, no. I need to bring it back to the other group over here. Good, seeing some phoenixes get killed. Okay, we've also got this ability here, which is... It's alright. It just will do less armor piercing damage. I don't think a lot of this is too heavily armored, but we'll do a little bit more base damage. This one here is getting shot up a fair bit. Gotta go send some assistance. I'm gonna buff just one unit, buff there over. Should be okay. Also, while we fight in the forest here, we can generate tons more winds of magic. Alright, yeah, we're not taking much damage. This is working out pretty well. Yeah, for a forested area. Even the things that do have magic attack are not doing much to us. It's very strong. Is it as strong as a treatment stack? Maybe. I can definitely see a couple of downsides where the treatment might be a bit better. Well, we'll discuss that in a bit. Let's just keep going with the battle. Don't want to send anyone over here. Stay as much as possible down this way. Try to take out these motherfucking phoenixes. Sit, stay together. Easier to keep my eye on them. Eyes, I mean. Best cast ever. Okay, probably a bit too spread out, a bit too clumped up there. We should spread out a bit more.
Lady of Lauren, at speed, ready to serve.
Of course, the Wood Elves are crazy powerful with their magic these days. Using that. Oh, that one's got a Helm of Discord as well. Okay, we're starting to take a few casualties now. Definitely a big button mash battle. Just ability, just keep using it, which is fine. It's working. Okay, Ariel's taking a bit of damage. Steal some souls, and there's the army losses. Alright. Well, considering what we went up against, that was really strong. And it's not like they were just holding the lines and doing no damage. These are some pretty significant kills. Of course, Ariel's probably still going to get loads more kills than them. But, you know, that's Ariel. You only get one of those. It's okay. I have no problem with putting a beast wizard in the army as long as it's not the only wizard. So that's totally fine. Because that way, if you don't want to use the winds of magic from the beast magic, at least she's generating winds. So it doesn't have to be all life wizards. Right, we can't heal. Okay, so this is one of the weaknesses of this army compared to Treeman Doomstacks. At the end of a battle with a Treeman Doomstack, you can keep healing, right? With this, the casual, like if we get attacked again over the end turn, for example, we're stuck with this many numbers. And while they definitely did a good job, there's no doubt about that. You could potentially get ground down. That's one disadvantage of this over the Treeman. Would the Treeman have been able to handle this army with given enough care and that kind of stuff? I think they could have. The biggest problem would have been the Phoenixes, but honestly, Treemen are pretty good against Phoenixes, even though they do lots of flame attack. Because you're playing Wood Elves these days, you can actually end up having Treemen having, like, more fire resistance than weakness. And in the Heralds of Ariel, they can have regeneration as well. And you just and they can clump the enemy up a lot better, so that you can just cast Wells Below. So that's one advantage to it, but you know, this is viable. This is definitely viable. Also playing as Heralds of Ariel, you can get Naestra's Grace for the additional 5%. Which I'm not sure if they already had that. Okay, whatever. I just want to get to the next turn so I can have a look at how he's leveled everything up. Because I'm very curious about this one. I didn't expect anybody to... we could win that, but he does not expect me to stay far back. I was sort of never expecting a melee infantry Doomstack, unless it was like a meme. So, I'm in multiple minds about this army. You know, it's strong, but it shouldn't be this strong. It should have weaknesses because melee infantry. Melee infantry are such rubbish tier units in this game. But it works, but it shouldn't work. That's where I'm really confused. And also, it does work, but I just feel like, having used Treeman, like, I'm really biased towards them, obviously. And I'm not going to sit here and say that army is better than the Treeman army. Like, I think that the Treeman Sisters of Twilight army is one of the strongest armies you can build in the game, period.
We speak as one, and the...
So I'll have a look in terms of the cost. That's in terms of strength as well, not necessarily in terms of cost effectiveness. Let's have a look. So yeah, it's on very hard campaign difficulty. Oh man, so many bloody notifications. Okay, let's have a look. So that was the army here, and it wasn't with the Sisters of Twilight, it was just with some Glade Lord, who's got Ariel's Chosen. Okay, what is going on here? Speed for Elven units. Right, so extra speed, that helps. 52 movement speed is good. And these here have the Shield of Isha, physical resistance during forest battles. So, see, okay, it said 60% physical resistance, right? But that's because these ones here, their ability was active. Right? Shield of Isha, physical resistance. That's because we're in the forest. So if we weren't in the forest, if it wasn't a forest battle, so you're getting about 15% from those. Not getting any buffs from them, that's just magic. Aerial, I don't think she's buffing the units. Let me just double check. Yeah, she just like buffs heaps of magic. Which is fine, it's fine. Okay. And what about this one? What's your skills? Yeah, that's more for missile units. You get extra charge bonus, right? The extra ammunition during frost barrel is kind of useless with this, apart from that one unit. So their normal physical resistance would be what, 45%? Because it's currently got Naestra's Grace, which will last. We didn't have that going into the battle as well, because when we got it, it would last 3 turns, and then it expired already by 1 turn because we got it over the end turn. So yeah, we had 60%, but it would have been 65 if we had that, if we could stack that up. Like if you go fight a ton of battles and stack that up for a while, you get to 65%. That just helps relieving you having to constantly cast Shield of Thorns. Alright, let's have a look at the cost. 439 compared to 411. So in terms of upkeep cost, they're a little bit cheaper than Tree Men. Just a little bit. Like, I definitely think this is good. And for melee infantry, this might possibly be the most viable melee infantry Doomstack in the game. Like, that was very impressive. But it's not as good as Treatment stacks. Get out of my face. Stupid Vortex. I just don't think it's as good as Treatment stacks. It is close, though. So, I'm going to give this a rating of 9 out of 10. Like, I think that's pretty fair. It's not 10 out of 10. Because it does require a bit of micromanagement. And there's definitely areas where you shouldn't go. So, if you're just out on the field, you're not going to get as much physical resistance. It does rely very heavily on you being in the forest. And even the treeman stack, that doesn't require you to actually be in the forest. You just need to be in trees. So it definitely performs badly in the desert where there are no trees. But if you're out in the Badlands, for example, there's no like tree light forests or anything. But as long as there's like a handful of trees that you can put your branch wraiths in and put a couple of treemen in, they'll fight a lot better. And then, of course, you know, just keep casting life magic, and you can buff them so much in the tech tree. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 9 out of 10. It's very good. This is a very well thought out Doomstack, and I'm looking for ways to give it extra points, but it's very situational to make it that strong. But even if it wasn't in those situations, you're just dealing with a bit less physical resistance. But yeah, very good melee infantry. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this one. Let me know what you think. I was very reluctant with this one because, you know, melee infantry, I've just got such an aversion to them on very hard battle difficulty in Warhammer 2. They're just such a rubbish tier unit. But this was actually very viable. You know, we got the Great Stag Doomstack that was total crap. And this one way outperformed it and didn't require that much micro. You know, we're able to stand a fair bit of a blob. It would be quite vulnerable to a lot of area effect attacks if you're going to do it that way, but then again, if you expect to get, you know, a Flamestorm cast on you, maybe just spread out a little bit. But yeah, I think 9 out of 10 is fair for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Appreciate you guys, and see you next time, fuckers. Bye.